Hey, Smart Money community. Hope you guys are doing good. And we are back with another edition of Evict Debt Out of Your Life for Good. Yes, and become wealthy and do all the fun things that we can't do when we have debt payments. All right. Want to talk to you guys today about the opportunity cost of living debt-free and what that can look like, and then kind of how to get there. And so if you don't have a pen and paper in front of you, go grab a pen and paper. I'll start with a quick dad joke. All right, go get your pen and paper. Here comes the dad joke. Jen, you ready? Where does Michael Jackson buy his jeans?
I don't know.
Billy Jeans.
That was a dad joke. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, the more kids I have, the better my jokes get. All right, hopefully you got your pen and paper in your back. And I don't have to tell you more bad jokes. But we'll talk about the opportunity cost of living debt-free, because here's what I've seen, Jen. The truth is life isn't getting less expensive. I was talking to someone the other day here, and it was like, they make a good income here, but what we have found is over the years, they've had to find ways to skimp and skip and not give up on. Because the money they were making 5 years ago, which afforded them a certain kind of lifestyle, it's the same money they're making today, and they've had to do this.
Yeah.
Its costs have come up. Income has stayed the same. Like, I mean, they get their cost of wage living, which is like nothing. It's abysmal these days, because I'll tell you what, I can tell you right now, the housing market doesn't follow the cost of wage living.
No.
You're 0.2% or whatever it is. If you're lucky, you're 0.3% a year. The housing market isn't going up 0.3% a year. The cost of gas doesn't follow your little wage, income wage, cost of living income wage increase. The cost of cars, the cost of food, none of that's following what is predicted to be the cost of inflation. And so what's happening is we've got these lifestyles and we're slowly kind of going up, but then cost of living is just boom. Taxes. Here's another one for all those people that love the stimulus checks that have come in. Taxes are about to come your way too. Somehow the government's going to have to make up all that money. And so maybe they don't tax you directly, but you're going to find costs and fees and added fees to things that are going to just drive up the costs. That has to happen in a market where the government overspends like this. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to bail us out of COVID, and say what you will about it. We're on the other side of it in terms of the government has spent trillions of dollars, and they're going to have to make it up somehow, somewhere, some way. So expect taxes to go up too over time. I just paid my taxes, by the way. Oh, the bank teller said, "Whoa, do you not have an accountant?" Like, I do. He helped me save a lot of money, and this is what I still have to pay. It was crazy. Taxes are insane. But so all that's coming up here, and what we found is what I found, Jed, is everyone talks about, everyone wants to be debt-free. Everyone wants to live debt-free. Everyone wants to have money in the bank, to not have to worry, the stress, the anxiety gone, to go on vacations when they want to Disney, and other places here. Everyone wants to do something like that. But what we found is it's always someday. Someday we'll do that. Someday we'll get there. It's almost like a fairy tale. Someday. Yeah. And what I figured out, guys, is someday isn't on the calendar.
Huh? It's not?
No, if you look it up, you will never find someday on the calendar. You'll find April 21st. You'll find December 25th. January 1st is on the calendar, but someday never shows up on that calendar.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. It's not there.
Yeah, someday we'll go on vacation. Someday we'll eat better food. Someday we'll get out of beans and rice. Someday we'll kick the craft dinner. And say, some people love Katie, so kudos to you. But it's like we're always talking about someday we'll eat prime steak and AAA grass-fed, grass-finished steak that's $25 a pound. Not yet. Will be soon. But it's like someday we'll live the good life.
Yeah.
And it's like I got to the point in my journey where I was like, I was tired of talking about someday. Talking about the dream being someday, because what was happening is I had said that to myself repeatedly for a couple of years, and guess what? Someday wasn't getting any closer.
No, there's nothing finite about it.
No. It really what it is. It's a coping mechanism to help us cope with the current situation that we're in and give us hope for the future. The future could be better. But here's what I found: your past habits and behaviors are in direct correlation with your future results. So if you want someday to show up in your life, something's got to change today.
Yeah.
Oh, write that one down. If you want someday to show up in your life, something's got to change today. Because here's what we found is most people will be in debt over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years and beyond because they don't have a plan not to.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is they don't start doing something today to make it happen. Jen, we talk to people all the time who I'm like, how long have you been in debt for? They can't even give me a number. It's like my whole life. Wait, not your whole life, because you've been a kid and you can't go into debt as a kid. So you mean your whole adult life? These are people in their mid 40s, mid 50s, 20, 30 years of paying Visa, paying MasterCard, Discover, whatever it is, American Express, Express, their whole life.
Yeah.
And it's scary because your patterns show that this will not get solved. Over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you'll be in the same position. And what scares me most is a lot of people get to retirement and they don't have enough, and they rely on government pension, old age insecurity or security, whatever you want to call it. All these government benefits that literally right now in today's market are peanuts. Mm-hmm. If you're living just on OAS and government pension right now, you do not have enough to pay rent these days.
No. Yeah. And what's really sad is that there's often the intention to do it, but there's not the plan. And then there's no action because there's no plan.
Yeah. I would say this hope's not a strategy.
No.
I used to hope that people would just put paychecks in my mailbox. It never happened.
Shocking,
God, please. I just need one. Give me a $2,000 check and I'll solve this problem once and for all. I promise. It never showed up.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like God doesn't answer prayers. It's like, maybe he did answer my prayer by not doing that because it caused me to have to take action to figure it out.
I love that.
Yeah. So maybe he did answer your prayer by not giving you that.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what happens is most people, again, will be in debt. You plan to be out of debt and live the good life, but most people will continue to stay in the debt, the overwhelm, the struggle, the anxiety for the next 5, 10, 15 years for 2 reasons. One, they don't have a plan. Number 2 is it's normal and it's become comfortable.
Yeah.
As much as you hate it, it's more comfortable than you having to get up and do something about it.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. And what's hard about that is our mind is wired for like survival. Yes. And to do things that cause the least amount of pain. Even if what we're doing is not working, our brain still says that stepping out and doing something new is uncomfortable. It could be dangerous, but the reality
this is safe. This reality is safe.
This reality is safe.
New. Yeah.
Right. But it really is a brain trick because we actually know, like when we think about it, we actually know saying stuff is not safe. Right. Because like you said, we, as a society, we retire broke and that's not safe. That's dangerous.
That's not safe that's not safe for the society. That's not safe for the people living in the society. That's not safe for those of us who actually get out and build wealth, because now the government wants all our money because they can't figure out how to get all the broke people to make money.
Yeah.
And get out of the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, or the cycle of poverty. And it's funny because I was talking with somebody the other day. I was kind of complaining a little bit, just venting. He's like, Mike, do you want to vent or do you want to solve the problem? I was like, good question. I think I want to vent right now, but I'll solve the problem tomorrow morning. But it's like most of us want to vent, but we don't want to solve the problem. And then it comes back to you're just more comfortable. It is hard, until the pain of change is greater than staying the same, you will always stay broke.
Oh, I love that.
Not in my head. I'll say that again. Until the pain of change is greater than the pain of staying the same, you will continue to struggle and live on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
Which is scary because it's like, here's the problem is life isn't cheap anymore. Right. I have a buddy I was talking to yesterday, a good friend of mine, a mentor of mine, and he was telling me 10 years ago, so 2010, 10 years ago. No, what are we? Are we 2021 now?
Yeah.
Ooh, the years are just going by. Sorry, 2011. Wow, almost made that slip. 2011, he went and bought houses in Michigan, and he could buy a house for $30,000. Today, that same house is about $100,000.
Wow.
Maybe about 120. So 3 to 4 times more expensive. Where we live, Jen, 10 years ago, you could buy a house for, I don't know what, $300,000.
Yeah, 200 to 300.
250, 300 was a decent brick home. That home today, what do you think that home's worth today?
Between 650 and 9 would be my guess.
3 times. In the last 10 years, it's almost tripled in price. Food. Have you noticed food getting more expensive?
I sure have. I have had to up my grocery budget.
Yeah, so have I. Yeah, the same $100 a year that 10 years ago was able to buy me a bunch of things. Doesn't get me much today. The cart looks pretty empty. $100 of food.
It's true.
right? So food's getting more expensive. But like I said earlier, what's happening is our cost of living is going up like this. Sorry, our cost of our income, wage increase is going up like this. Our cost of living is going up like this.
Yeah.
That's catching up. And one of the things that scares me, and this is probably going to be 10, 15, maybe 20 years down the road, is those who make an average income today, in 10, 15, 20 years, it will be like those who make minimum wage today in terms of your opportunity cost, what you can do and not do. If the cost of living continues to go up like this. And we're not in a bubble. I don't think we're in a bubble. I don't think it's going to burst. I think we may taper off and it may slow down, but right now it is super high.
Yeah.
And it's going up year over year over year over year. Part of the reason is taxes for Canadians, and Americans are about to experience this too, is the, what's it called? The carbon tax. Again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but back in December, the Canadian government raised the carbon tax by over 240%. When's the last time you got a 240% raise?
Let me see. It was the day after never.
That's not on the calendar either.
Right?
Right. Well, what's happening is we're seeing all these costs go up, taxes go up, and this ideal going up. And it's like I saw an article about a year ago that said if you're not making six figures today, you're below middle class.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. Because where I grew up, six figures was a great income.
Heck yeah.
It was like you strive to make six figures. Now that's considered middle class in most cities.
Wow.
Not all, but in most cities. Which is scary because it's just going up from there.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that's done crazy is the stock market. That thing, literally every quarter, there's new all-time highs. Now in 2018, 2019, everyone, the economists, everyone was saying there's a crash coming, there's a crash coming. You can get out of a conversation with the stock market without hearing someone say, there's a crash coming, be prepared. The crash is come and gone. And for those of you that missed it, it was called March 2020. It lasted about 5 months before the market recovered, and then March the miss.
Yeah.
Literally, it's almost an L shape since about March 2020 last year when we hit the bottom. And so that crash has come and gone. I would say the economists are wrong because usually recessions last more than 3 months. I think you have to have 2 or 3 consecutive losses for it to be considered a recession. So we didn't even have that. We had 1 quarter of losses. So even the stock market is rising and all-time highs every single day. Not every day, sorry, every single quarter.
Quarter, yeah.
Quarter is what I meant to say, not every single day. And so what's happening here is we're watching everything go up. All the indicators are saying things are going up. It's not getting cheaper here. And what I found here is you want to start to take advantage of income producing assets.
Yeah.
And how you do that, first thing is you got to break the cycle of poverty. You got to get out of debt. You got to get on a plan. Stop giving Visa your money because either way, your money is going to be working for somebody. It could be you or it can be Visa or MasterCard, whatever debt you choose here. I don't care. There's a bunch of them out there. You choose the debt you like, you're loyal to because they give you points and perks, whatever it is, whatever debt you're giving money to, they're making money off your money. So someone somewhere is going to make money off of your money. It can be you or it can be the banks. The question I have for you today is who do you want that to be? Me. I want that to be me. I want to earn it. I want my, I tell people, hey, listen, the goal of your money should be to get pregnant and make more money. We call that investing. Get your money to work for you and not against you.
Yes.
Right. And so no matter what you do, someone is always going to earn something from your money.
Yeah.
Visa, if you're a renter, and again, there's nothing wrong with being renters, but the idea is someone's earning money off of your money, renting. You're giving them. And Jen, what's another? Rent's gone up. You were telling me what, 10 years ago, or when you first started renting years and years ago, you're paying what, $500 or $1,000 a month?
So yeah, so we were paying $900 a month when we first got married 15 years ago for a basement, like a legit basement apartment, $900. Where today that same apartment is probably $1,500, $1,800. I hear people who are renting the main floor of a house, just the main floor, like they don't even get the basement because someone else lives there. Main floor of the house, $2,000, $2,500. Like it's crazy how the market has changed in such a short amount of time. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is insane. And again, it's like, usually the future history tells us we don't fall back. We don't fall back to paying $900 a month. We don't fall back to a society where we're paying $500 for rent. We either maintain and taper off, so we don't go the L shape up. We kind of do this and maintain for a while before we do another one of these. But the idea is, you want to get yourself in a position here where you can start have income producing assets, AKA
you own a home. And how does that produce income for you? Well, as you pay off the mortgage and pay it down, eventually you get to a spot where you don't have a mortgage or rent anymore. You don't have that payment anymore. And you've got an asset that goes up in value.
Yeah.
When you start investing into the market, you've got assets that are continuing to go up in value. And over time, it might do this, but over time it's doing this. Over 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, $10,000 becomes 100,000, becomes 200,000, becomes $500,000, right? Like time and compound interest. You want to have these things work for you and not against you.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the idea when it comes to income producing assets. And then the last thing I want to say, guys, is we are not here to work and just work and make life happen, work and pay rent, work and pay the debt. We're here, in my opinion, to live and have fun. And it's like, what's happening is I find a lot of people are just working to live, working to get by. That sucks.
Yeah. We don't want to just survive. Like, we want to be able to thrive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a song out there. I don't want to survive, just want to thrive. I'm not a singer, so please forgive me. And I don't tell good jokes either. So you've seen the real me come out here. We're going to get people out of debt. That's about it. And help them become wealthy. But don't ask me to sing at your wedding. But it's like, yeah, you're right. The whole idea here is just like we want to thrive.
Yeah.
And
for a time it might be surviving so that you get to thriving, right? Like as you're working your debt snowball, it kind of is surviving because you're being so intentional and focused on that one thing. Yeah. And while you get through that season, then you get to start living the thriving.
Yeah. The whole idea, guys, is here's my plan for you guys, is your debt journey to become debt free. And that's consumer debt, by the way, all your consumer debt, in my opinion, should be the smallest journey of your financial journey, or sorry, the smallest step of your financial journey. What I mean by that is it should take you 24 months, 18, 20, 12, 24, maybe 36 months.
Yeah.
To become debt free. And a lot of you are like, I don't get it. I don't see it. It's okay. You don't have to see it. My buddy told me this the other day, and I wrote it down. It's so good. He says, you can't solve the same problem from the same level of thinking that caused the problem. And so when you sit there and say, I don't see it, I can't figure it out, that's okay, because you're at the same level of thinking that caused the problem. What do we get to do? We get to sit here and actually help you solve that problem.
Yeah.
So our goal is for you to be debt free in 3 years. And the reason I say that's the smallest step, because once you're debt free, you're now into asset producing activities.
Yes.
Wealth building. If you haven't bought that home yet, you're getting in position to buy a home. If you bought that home, you're getting in position to pay off the home. We're helping our kids not get into the cycle of poverty. Because there's another thing we haven't talked about yet. The cost of school tuition is insane.
Yeah.
To get a degree in left-handed puppetry. Yeah, that should be that's a whole discussion itself. A degree in left-handed puppetry, right? 6 figures debt now to get a degree in a useless degree. But it's like, that's another thing that's gone up. And so to help your kids break the cycle of poverty, because there's a good chance your parents were in that cycle and their parents were in that cycle. And that's why you're in that cycle today. Because you haven't been shown how to break it and get out for good. So here's the deal. It's super simple. How do you get out of debt? One, you got to get on a plan. You got to get intentional. Know that Sunday isn't on the calendar, and get a date on the calendar. Start today. 2, you've got to stop borrowing money. Like, you've got to stop using those credit cards for your purchases, using those credit cards for cashback rewards, and break that cycle of poverty there. 3, you've got to have some money put aside so that when the car breaks, you're okay.
Yeah.
And then 4, you got to start getting into asset producing activities. Like we just talked about, investing, walking through that and doing it the right way. There's a lot of bad ways to do it. There's a lot of wrong ways to do it. Right? I'm not talking about Bitcoin. That's not the right way to do it. Not right now, at least. But that's what you want to do here. So guys, here's what I want to talk to you. Here's what I want to offer you guys. If you are that person that's been in debt for 5, 10, 15, 20, God forbid, 25 or 30 years, it's time to have a conversation. It's time to get you into a position here where you can be debt free in the next 12, 24, or 36 months. Okay? And get you into asset producing activities where you will become wealthy. And that future, that hope, isn't just a pipe dream, but it's a real thing that you're striving to, because you know that you're going to hit it. So if that's you, if you're ready to rock here, what I want you to do is comment below and just go debt free. Or if you're shy and you don't want to do that, reach out. Direct message us, private message Jen or myself here. We're in this group all the time. Just click on our name and literally send us a message here. And we want to help you guys live the best life. Live a life of abundance. Live a life of generosity. Live a life of freedom. Because if you can't do that, what's the point? What is the point? All right, guys, that's what I want to help you guys do. All right, but that's the idea here. Your goal and the opportunity cost of becoming debt-free will break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, will allow you to get into asset-producing activities here, owning a home, home ownership, or paying off the home. Like I said earlier, investing, helping your kids break that cycle so they never have to go through this again. That's the opportunity cost of getting on top of this problem and solving this problem today.
Let's get her done.
Right, let's get her done. I feel like I gotta have a sob. Zing, zing, for a credit card. Can I have a credit card?
Right?
I had one guy throw an axe. He was debt free. He's like, I'm done. Put his credit card on like a tree.
The tree.
Threw an axe to split it in half. I was like, damn, that's awesome.
Love it.
Cool. So yeah, that's our goal. Is if you want to live debt free, if you're ready to kick butt, evict debt out of your life, hey, this is the best place to do it. We're here to support you 100%, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. Awesome. Any last words of wisdom, Jen?
Oh, I think we covered it. It's great. Take these things, guys. Take them in, make them yours, and start living your better life. And if we can help you, don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. We'll see you guys on the next one. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye for now.